please hit that subscribe button. Hey everybody, better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Locked on and he scored! And we're live. Hey everybody, so news time. Tyler Bertuzzi has a new contract from the Detroit Red Wings, and this was actually the first RFA case this offseason to actually go to arbitration and have a contract awarded by an arbitrator. Bertuzzi and the Red Wings could not agree to a deal themselves, so he gets a one-year deal at $3.5 million for next season from the arbitrator. I believe Detroit was looking for $3.15 million AAV. Bertuzzi was looking for a little over $4 million, and like in most cases, the arbitrator met somewhere in the middle at 3.5, and Bertuzzi will now be with the Red Wings again next season. So 25-year-old left winger has had back-to-back 21-goal seasons now for Detroit. He had 48 points in 71 games last year. He had 47 points in 73 games the year before. Obviously brings a lot to the table for the Red Wings as a scorer, and also brings that, that kind of chip on your shoulder, pesty, Kachuk-esque attitude as well. And Bertuzzi's a guy that's been known to get under opponent's skin. He's not afraid to play physically. He'll drop the gloves if he has to. He doesn't fight a ton, but if he really comes down to it, he will drop the gloves. And he brings a lot to the table in the physical aspect as well. Over the last couple years, obviously Detroit hasn't been very good, so he's been kind of playing a top line role with Dylan Larkin and Anthony Mantha. I think on most teams he'd be a second line player. I think he's best suited as a second line player. He obviously has shown that he can score 20 goals, and he's done it in 2 seasons in a row now. And I think for the Red Wings, this is kind of very similar to what we're seeing in Buffalo. This is kind of a show-me contract for Tyler Bertuzzi, and they obviously couldn't agree to anything long-term. That's why it went to arbitration. So he gets a one-year deal out of it. I think if you're the Detroit Red Wings, you want to see him eclipse the 50-point mark for the first time in his career. You obviously want him to score at least 20 goals again this season. I'd like to see 25 out of him. And if he does that, then I think you're looking at trying to get him locked up on a 4 or 5 year long-term deal, at second line money. Because I think if he has 3 straight 20-goal seasons, and if he can eclipse a 50-point mark, which he would have done last year if it was a full season, I certainly think that Bertuzzi will have earned himself a long-term deal with Detroit, second line type player, and really be an important part of that team going forward. So again, they couldn't agree to anything this offseason as far as long-term goes. It goes to arbitration. He gets a one-year deal, $3.5 million. If he can prove that, that he's going to be consistently this level of player while still adding the physicality and the pestiness and the getting under your opponent's skin element as well as scoring, I mean, there's no reason if you're Detroit not to keep him around. He's only 25 years old. And he's proven an important part of your team, at this point. And he was a guy that did not develop, super quickly. They gave him time to develop, which I think was really important for him. And he wasn't rushed to the NHL level. They let him play in the minors. They let him, take his time. And now that's proving to pay dividends now at this point where he's become a legitimate top 6 winger. So I'm really excited to see what he does this coming season. He's a fun player to watch. He makes the game interesting. And he's obviously able to put points on the board. So if he can do that again this year, I think next offseason you're going to be looking at him getting a solid contract, probably 4 or 5 years from the Red Wings, and they'll be willing to commit to him if he can show that he's consistently going to be a 20-plus goals, around 50-point type guy. Perfect second-line winger in the NHL, and brings a lot of, other elements to the game as well outside of just those points. So Tyler Bertuzzi staying with the Detroit Red Wings, 1 year, $3.5 million, given by an arbitrator. and they'll be trying to get a longer-term deal done with him, this coming season or next offseason in Detroit. But this is kind of a show-me year for Bertuzzi, and see if he can continue to be a 20-plus goals, around 50-point guy, and prove that he's a for real top 6 second-line winger in the NHL. But with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon merchandise store and donation link are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.